Our airplane, no, our bus broke in the middle of the jungle. We are lost in Australia.
We need to find something to eat. We need to hunt a kangaroo maybe.
You see, we are lost in Australia, but look, Prada shoes. Yeah. Oh, I can't do this merchandise for free. It's our birthday.
Yeah.
Doing well. I really like this tree. I like this tree. Gave it a hug the other day. This is called the Banksia serrata. See this tree with the jagged leaves? Yeah, it's called the Banksia serrata. And if you look at these, you see the cones, the sort of cone things on them? If you look a bit higher up, some of these cones have got like pods on them. Can you see that if you look a bit further up? You ever see that? They've got pods on them. Okay, these pods have actually got seeds inside. Am I going a bit quick for some people, or can you understand what I'm saying, everybody? My foreign
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all okay? Yeah. Excellent. If I go too quickly today, just let me know, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, can you understand? Brilliant. So they've got pods in, they've got seeds inside these pods, and when they get hot, so when the fires come through, much like what we saw when we drove into the park, when the fires come through, these pods actually open up and they drop their seed, and the seed falls into the ash, and ash is actually really fertile. So what happens then? The seed starts growing, and then even though the tree might die, it keeps its whole cycle alive. So that's how it starts, you know, regerminating, and yeah, how it keeps its whole cycle alive. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, sorry if you're going to have to sit through some of these talks again.
Oh, we are not lost alone. There are other. There are other lost here.
Just let these guys go. Right. Two. Someone just say kangaroo.
Lost in national park.
These cones up here as well, they're really important for the Aboriginal people. These cones actually smoulder for a very long time. Now the word smoulder, I don't know if you know what it means. Do you know what smoulder means? No. It means, okay, so if you've got coal, you know coal on the barbecue? Yeah, if you, it glows really, really hot for a long amount of time. There's no flame, it's just glowing hot and it smokes. And it stays like that for a very, very, very long time. So the Aboriginal people, what they used to do when they were at camp, they'd have their fire, they'd go and collect a whole heap of these and they'd put them on the fire so that they'd get really, really hot. In the meantime, see this tree over here? This is called the grass tree. Everyone see that? There's another one there. So this one looks like big bits of grass. And they'd weave a bag out of the grass tree.
Parece
like a man bag or a dilly bag. Has anyone got a bag on them? Yeah, a bit of a bigger version of this. So like it'll go around the shoulder like that, and it's yeah, like a man bag or a dilly bag. And what they'd do, they'd line that with ironstone, which is like a reddish stone. And when they left their camp, they'd get all these smouldering cones, and they'd put them in their bag, and they'd walk around, and it's like us carrying around a lighter. So they'd always have fire with them. So like I said, they set fire to the bush as they walked along. They'd just grab one of these, start blowing on it, set fire to the bush, and that's how they always had fire. They'd get to their next camp, they wouldn't have to mess around starting fire again because they'd already have it with them. So very, very clever. Wow. Yeah, so very important because obviously fire is very important for cooking and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very clever people. And the leaves of this tree are serrated, and that's just a natural defence against animals eating it. Yeah. That's a pretty awesome tree, and you'll see lots of these. This is just one species. This is the Banksia serrata, and you'll see lots of different kinds of these, and they've got these cones on, and they all look slightly different. So there's a lot of different species of the same tree. It's pretty cool. And this tree that we're passing as well, this is quite famous. Has anyone heard of tea tree?
Yeah.
Tea tree, yeah. So this is tea tree. It's used in a lot of women's products and I think men's products now, isn't it? It's like antiseptic. It's good for spots and stuff like that. And yeah, this is quite valuable, this stuff. So anyone with a backpack on I will be checking it as we get into the bus. Make sure no one's taking any. No, not really. Teacher in there?
Looking at the ground, singing.
You're leaving. That's what you're doing.
Bless you. Nice one.
Oh, whoa, animal.
Excellent. Okay, this is this tree here. I really like this tree. It's pretty awesome. It's kind of it's got that branch there. It's got so heavy. It's fallen down and it's fused into that one. And it sort of pulls this hole. I think that's pretty cool. But this is a eucalyptus tree.
Oh, really?
Eucalyptus tree. So yeah, there's around about
There are a lot of them,
800 different species of eucalyptus tree in Australia. That's a hell of a lot of different species of one tree. It's actually the tree that dominates its landscape more than any other tree dominates its landscape of any other country in the whole of the world. Is how the eucalyptus dominates the Australian landscape. So pretty crazy. And yeah, this tree is pretty awesome. It does a number of things. The first thing it does, it performs something called triage. Has anyone heard of triage? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's triage? ER, yeah. So if you go to accident and emergency, or you go to the hospital, you'll go and see a nurse, and the nurse will call you up straight away. You think, excellent, I'm being seen to straight away, wicked, yay, I'm going to be out of here in 2 minutes. But actually, no. What she's doing is she's putting you in level of importance of how bad your injury is, and then obviously to put you in level of importance, and then, like I say, 5 hours later, you're still waiting in the waiting room. This tree does a very, very similar thing. It performs triage. It works out which branches it needs to survive, and then it will cut off the water supply to the branches it doesn't need, and it will send the water up to the branches it does need. We're living on one of the driest continents in the world right now, so yeah, these trees need to do this kind of thing to survive. And then obviously when that happens, the branch that's been cut off will then finally die, eventually die. And there's an example of this happening here, this lower branch here. You can see that that's dying. And eventually this branch will actually fall off. And some of these branches are pretty big, let me tell you that. They're huge. And when they come down, yes, they come down with a hell of a crash. And this tree is actually known as the Widowmaker. The Widowmaker, because this tree does actually kill more people in Australia than dangerous animals. True fact. Yes. What did I say before? Everything's bloody dangerous out here. Everything. Even the trees are dangerous. Hey? Bus driver, easy tiger. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. That's one thing it does. The second thing this tree does, these trees actually do lose their bark once a year. Now they've got two things under their bark. The first thing they've got under their bark is this white kind of powder. And this white powder is actually a fire deterrent. So when the fires come through and all the bark gets burnt, this white powder actually protects the core of the tree. And then underneath the bark they've got something called an epicormic bud. Epicormic bud. And what happens is once all the fires come through, the epicormic bud actually sprouts a leaf. And it sprouts a leaf all the way up the trunk of the tree. And the leaf creates food for the tree while it repairs itself. So once all the leaves at the top are growing back and the tree's repaired, all these epicormic leaves all fall off. And yeah, the tree's very much alive. So we drove down again into the park this morning. You would have seen some blacked out trees, but all the leaves up above were still, you know, the tree's very much alive. That's how it keeps itself, alive. And yeah, eucalyptus leaf or oil, very, very good for colds and flu. If you've sniffed eucalyptus, it really clears you up. The Aboriginal people would have used it for a very similar effect. And also some of these trees are called gum trees, and that means they've got a thick gum in the middle, and that's very good antiseptic. So again, an Aboriginal person got a deep